In the late 1920s, the Dominican Republic stood in the brink of dramatic change. The nation was going through political unrest, and in the shadows, a formidable military leader was quietly orchestrating his rise to power. President Horacio Vazquez's administration was struggling to maintain control. Economic hardships and political instability had weakened his hold on the nation. Sensing an opportunity, Trujillo allied himself with a prominent political figure, Rafael Estrella Ureña. Horacio Vazquez, then president of the Dominican Republic, faced a mounting opposition. Estrella Ureña sought to overthrow Vazquez, and he needed Trujillo's support. They struck a pivotal agreement. Trujillo would ensure that the military did not intervene against the uprising, and in return, he would be allowed to run for president. On March 3rd, Estrella was proclaimed acting president, with Trujillo confirmed as head of the police and the army. As per their agreement, Trujillo became the president nominee of the newly formed Patriotic Coalition of Citizens. Trujillo, wielding his military power, ensured that the other candidates faced relentless harassment and intimidation. The army's presence was a clear message. Only Trujillo would be allowed to campaign freely. Faced with this overwhelming pressure, the other candidates withdrew from the race. The Trujillo Estrella ticket emerged victorious with a staggering 99% of the vote, a result as implausible as it was unchallenged. But Trujillo's ascent to power was just the beginning of his transformation of the nation. 2.5 weeks after Trujillo took office, a catastrophic hurricane, San Zenon, struck Santo Domingo, leaving over 2,000 people dead and the city in ruins. Trujillo seized this moment of crisis to solidify his control. He declared martial law and embarked on an ambitious rebuilding campaign. Trujillo's response to the disaster was both calculated and grandiose. He renamed the capital after himself, an emblem of his growing cult of personality. Across the nation, streets, monuments, and landmarks were dedicated in his honor, cementing his presence in every aspect of Dominican life. Trujillo's grip on the Dominican Republic tightened with every passing day. But what was life like under his iron-fisted rule? How did this dictatorship shape the daily lives of Dominicans, and what legacy did he leave behind? Under the iron fist of Rafael Trujillo, the Dominican Republic experienced profound changes and brutal tragedies. Trujillo's rise to power was marked by a blend of ruthless ambition and strategic development, shaping the nation in his image. But beneath the surface of progress lay a dark and violent reality. In 1937, Trujillo unleashed a horrific campaign known as La Masacre de Perejil, or the Parsley Massacre. Claiming that Haiti was harboring his opponents, Trujillo ordered an attack on the border. Dominican soldiers, using machetes and other brutal methods, slaughtered between 12,000 and 30,000 Haitian men, women, and children. Victims were asked to pronounce the word parsley. Those who failed the test were mercilessly killed. Many were thrown into the sea at Monte Cristi, bound hand and foot. International outrage followed, leading to a reparation settlement under pressure from Washington. However, only a fraction of the promised compensation ever reached the survivors. Despite the brutality, Trujillo also oversaw significant economic and modern developments. After the devastating 1930 hurricane, he rebuilt the capital. Grand structures like El Palacio Nacional and the planned Columbus Lighthouse showcased his vision of a modernized nation. Trujillo also ended U.S. financial governance with the Hull-Trujillo Treaty, gaining control over custom revenues and launching a massive propaganda campaign that hailed him as the savior of the nation's financial independence. His government preferred to develop the country through self-improvement and foreign investment on favorable terms, avoiding foreign loans that could imply economic inferiority. Trujillo's regime cultivated a close relationship with the United States, offering favorable conditions for American businesses. Despite some tensions over preferential treatment towards Cuba in the sugar trade and the lack of military aid, Trujillo maintained a facade of cooperation with the U.S. Yet, while the country modernized, Trujillo amassed immense personal wealth. He controlled industries and siphoned national resources into his own coffers, leaving many Dominicans to struggle under economic disparity and repression. As Trujillo's grip tightened, life of ordinary Dominicans became a blend of fear and forced loyalty. His omnipresence was felt in every corner of the country, from the streets named after him to the statues that loomed over the cities. But even as he solidified his power, resistance was brewing. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you want to watch the full video, you could click right here.